let's talk about water storage. So I've got new tanks and hooked those up a couple weeks ago. That goes with my original video on the blue barrels. I'll show you what I did with those, but let's go look at the new tanks. So here we see the remains of some of the old blue barrels. Just repurposed them, filled them with potting soil. I did have stuff growing in those too, but over here I have black beans, and here's a nice tomato plant in that one, more tomato plants, and the Bonnie Blue, flying proud. Alright, more tomato plants. So here's the new tanks, and I mounted them again, you know, not trying to hide them necessarily, but to avoid, you know, issues with code enforcement, nosy neighbors, etc., etc. Good idea to put your tanks where maybe they're not so visible, right? Alright, the way this system is set up, again, nothing special here. Drain comes down, take the existing stuff. I think I bought you know, a couple elbows at the hardware store, and that was about it. Took the drain system here off the old blue barrels. Again, these were the type of drains that you set down in and you pour cement, so it's like a shower drain, right? There's screen inside there. Very nicely fits the little the air, the pressure release, the air release that's inside these blue caps. If you just unscrew that out when you buy one of these tanks, it will fit perfectly up inside the inside diameter of the drain here. A little bit of epoxy, and there you go, boom, permanent. Screws into the red cap then screws onto there. You can repurpose some of your straps to keep your drain from going anywhere. The only caveat with these, doing it this way, is you need to keep these drains clean. So keep the debris off them. Check the screen often. It will clog up with the fine silt that, you know, eventually will come down off your roof. So make sure you keep those clean. Now they do have new systems where you can simply insert a little diverter right here. You keep your pipe going down where it was, and then run a hose back over to the fill. I will probably do that this winter with these, but just haven't got around to it. Alright, overflow. Again, you want to use, I use the standard doorknob driller, and drill the hole, right? Found a matching size pipe, screwed it in. I did have what's that Flex Seal spray around these, but it's not really necessary, and I changed the screens out and took it out, so that's why the Flex Seal's broken on that. But these screens, important. You gotta have the screens. Again, here I have double screens here, and I have a screen there. Also, at the end of the pipe, there is a screen, right? So no mosquitoes, no bugs. Real important. Don't overlook that. Don't think you can get away with it. If you need this water to be potable at some point in the future for whatever reason, if it's filled with bug larvae, it's going to be a problem for you. So I also opted for spent, you know, the extra $10 and got the kind that has the valve attachment with the water hose. Now, one word of warning is they will put these on for you for a couple extra bucks, but they do not check them and see if they're sealed or anything. They are not. Expect that you need to tighten them up. I even take mine completely apart. I put caulk around the edges that really need to seal good, and then I reassemble it with that caulk in, and I let them dry for about 48 hours. After that point, they do then become a good seal, right? You will still have some drippage, and you see I do have a little bit of rust down there. You need to keep after that, right? So I spray, clean off the rust, spray that with fresh paint and sealant every so often, just to keep it good, right? All right, your drain. Again, wherever you put your drain hole as high as you can possibly put it. That gives you as much water as you can possibly get in there. Just make sure you have a drain system, right? So mine is draining out into my box here. Right now I just planted some late summer cucumbers that will grow throughout the fall to about the middle of October. I'll get a couple cucumbers out of that, but that will fill up my my box here. So and volunteer green beans, got lots of green beans coming in. Evidently I accidentally dropped a couple green bean seeds in the old potato towers. My potato tower experiment this time, those two were failures, but the green beans took over, so great. Alright, so let's go look at the other tank. Ooh, got a tomato coming. There you go. Couple more. Alright, that peach tree, I don't know if it's going to make it. It's been like 3 years and that's all it is a twig. The other one's great. That one, I don't know. Alright, around back here we go. Alright, so again, like I said, not hiding the tanks, but being low profile with them is probably a good idea. Again, code enforcement, other things. If your neighbors are preppers and they have their stuff together, they're probably going to know you have yours. But again, drain pipe, see, drains, goes down the hill, out it goes for the extra. Has the valve down there. I even keep the styrofoam thing on during the winter, but I do recommend with these types that you drain them in the winter. Here you're going to see there's the gutter draining right down into it, and again I will probably upgrade those later with the little diverter kind that has the hose. Okay, one last thing. And again, talking about the condition of the water in your tanks, I go to Walmart, any little store that sells little pools and stuff, and you can get the little containers, and they have the itty bitty chlorine tablets. Drop one in there once a month. Also get a little bag of shock and put a little quarter cup of shock in it once a month, right? Again, I know there's people out there that are going to complain about that. It's putting chemicals in your water, but at the same time, we're not using a lot of chemicals here. We're not going crazy with it, but we do not want our water turning green or any other color. All right, you're going to have on hand water purification, devices, things that you can do. Keeping your water as clean as you can is going to prolong the life of those devices. So keep your water clean. Again, the point here is that this tank is not supposed to be potable water at this point. It's supposed to be for your garden, right? That's the idea. But it serves as an emergency supply. So make sure you keep after your water. And that's about it. So again, long shot of what that looks like, and we'll leave it with that. Say goodbye to the Bonnie Blue, and we'll talk to you later.